The judge was still speaking when my phone vibrated. I didn't look down. I already knew what it would say. Uncle John leaned back in his chair like he owned the room, like he'd always owned me. His mouth curled into that familiar smile, the one he used when he thought he'd won. "You don't understand business," he said, calm, dismissive, final. That was the moment. Not when he took the company, not when he backed my ex-wife's legal fees, not even when he froze me out of the boardroom I helped build. This moment, because the screens behind the judge flickered. Tech startup acquires Henderson Industries. I cleared my throat, and everything changed. I met Uncle John when I was 17, standing in the shadow of his glass office, holding a scholarship acceptance letter like it was a passport. He read it once, then again, then smiled like a proud king inspecting a future knight. "Your family," he said, "which means I'll teach you how the world really works." I believed him. I worked for him. I learned fast. He taught me leverage before ethics, silence before trust, how to starve someone slowly with contracts and call it strategy. I thought he was shaping me. What he was really doing was measuring me. Years later, when I brought him the prototype, the software that could optimize supply chains in real time, he patted my shoulder and said, "Brilliant." Then he filed the patent under Henderson Industries. I didn't fight it. Family doesn't sue family. That's what he raised me to believe. The betrayal didn't arrive all at once. It crept. Meetings I wasn't invited to, emails CC'd too late, a promotion promised then forgotten. My wife started asking questions about money, about why Uncle John suddenly had opinions about our marriage, about why my access to company accounts had technical issues. Then I saw the message. Not meant for me, never sent to me. Once he's divorced, we'll have leverage. He won't see it coming. I didn't scream. I didn't confront him. I shut the door, sat down, and listened to my breathing until it slowed. That's when I stopped being hurt and started being precise. Revenge isn't loud when it's done right. It's administrative. I registered a startup under a shell LLC. Quiet, clean. I called old contacts, vendors Henderson had mistreated, engineers underpaid, executives sidelined by Uncle John's paranoia. I didn't promise revenge. I promised fairness. I rebuilt my software from memory, improved it, removed the weaknesses Uncle John never noticed because he never understood the tech, only the ownership. I let Henderson Industries rot in public. Late shipments, subtle leaks to analysts, a whisper campaign about outdated infrastructure. Then I waited. Greed always opens the door. When Henderson's stock dipped, I moved. Not aggressively, patiently. I acquired debt, then more. By the time Uncle John noticed, his company was bleeding quietly, legally, through paper cuts he'd signed himself. Which brings us back to the courtroom. He laughed when the headline hit. Actually laughed. "That's not us," he said. "Probably one of those Silicon Valley kids." I stood. The judge looked annoyed. Uncle John looked amused. I looked calm. "That's my company," I said. Silence isn't empty when it lands right. It's heavy. I explained, slowly, how the startup acquired controlling interest, how the board voted, how Henderson Industries was now a subsidiary. Uncle John's smile didn't fade. It fractured. "You don't understand business," he repeated, weaker now. I leaned in, just enough. "You taught me." The judge adjourned. The room emptied. Uncle John stayed seated, staring at the screen like it might apologize. I handed him a folder. Severance. Generous. Humiliating. I didn't destroy him. I replaced him. There's a difference. Weeks later, I walked through the old headquarters, now mine. The walls were the same. The power wasn't. My ex-wife sent a message. A single sentence. I didn't know. I didn't reply. Some lessons don't need closure. They need distance.
I think about Uncle John sometimes, about the man who taught me to sharpen knives and never noticed when I learned to aim. I don't feel guilt, I feel balance. He said I didn't understand business. He was right once. Now I understand people. And that's the only market that never crashes. When the news breaks, they'll call it a hostile takeover. They'll say it was ruthless. They won't see the years of silence, the patience, the restraint. They won't hear the confession playing in my head as I cleared my throat and took everything back. But I will. And that's enough.